What's going on, people? You already know who it is. It's your boy Mac, back at it again with some more boxing news, views, and opinions. Let's get it. So, I hear that Devin Haney is about to possibly move up to 140 and fight Regis Prograis. Now, it's funny because it was just a lot of controversy going around about him, staying at 135, facing Shakur Stevenson. Now, Shakur Stevenson, he's really pressing for this fight. He's saying that Devin is a duck, even though we all know Devin never ducked nobody. And then he's saying that Devin is trying to lowball him and so on and so forth, which, I touched on that a little bit. But I'll get back into it and refresh y'all. Some of y'all probably need a refresher. They say Devin was lowballing him, but when we really, examine these latest developments, I think that 25% was being a little bit generous, Let's get into it. All right, so Devin apparently was having problems making weight at 135. Whatever trouble he may or may not be having, he still managed to get to the weight. He made the weight for Lomachenko, but apparently it wasn't easy making it. He made the weight for Kambosos, both times. But Devin, when you look at Devin, he got that big, lanky frame that I think his power is really going to carry over at 140 or 147. And not to say that even really mattered, because Devin Haney is not that kind of fighter. Devin Haney is a technician. He's a sharpshooter. He work with that stick, so it's not really a thing. I think a lot of people trying to put emphasis on Devin Haney's power or whether he don't got power, just as a criticism to find something to, poke at him about, because he'll take his time in a fight and, box smart out there. Shout out to Devin Haney, man. Apparently he moving up to fight Regis Prograis, and I think that's a way better option anyway than fighting Shakur Stevenson. That's a hard fight. Devin Haney never really been the one to take those kind of tune-up fights. The fighters I don't like and the fighters I'm starting not to like are those fighters that always run their mouth. They always running their mouth, but they always act like top guys ain't available. But somehow they have no problem making fights with scrubs. They'll say what fighter don't deserve to fight, but then they'll give a fight to a fighter nobody ever heard of. Like, what the hell he do to deserve to fight? They'll say what percentage that they're not gonna accept, but they won't say what percentage they will accept. You know what I'm saying? It's all just, let me just bark, and then just lean back and see who all gonna do all the work based on, me trying to be in the way. And that's the butt print, you know what I'm saying? So think about this. If it's a well-known fact that Devin is having problems making 135, then he's basically weight draining himself to stay there. So if he stay at 135, he's giving himself a disadvantage. Now, it's a disadvantage that clearly he would be putting upon himself, because nobody can force him to fight at 135. I'm already putting stipulations on myself to give them an advantage. So where I want to make up for it at is on the financial end. How does that not make sense? I don't get how that don't make sense, especially if Shakur know that. I heard some people saying, Devin Haney didn't want the smoke because he just told him take it or leave it. If we gonna do that, right, this what we gonna do. Shakur Stevenson never wanted the smoke then, because he always said sign the contract when it wasn't even a fucking contract. If we gonna do it like that, but we not gonna do that though. We gonna approach it like this. In business, all contracts are negotiable. What we hear in the public when somebody say something like, I want 25%, I want 30%, all that, that's just the flex for the public. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford were negotiating. He was like, I want 60-40, and then Terrence Crawford said something he ain't like, and he was like, keep talking, I'm gonna go to 65-35, and then he said he gonna go to 80-20. Meanwhile, Bud, he got so much pride, he's so hurt over there, he's taking it so serious, it was funny, and he was like, the fight is off, I'll never, I'm the best fighter in the world. So, it's just these boys, man, a lot of times they like to keep their name out there and don't really want the negotiations to get solid, because this the bottom line about Shakur and his 25% and everything he said, and him comparing himself to Bud. Both of y'all have a lot of pride and feel that you are owed a certain amount, but it doesn't translate over when you put the numbers on paper. Shakur, you are an excellent fighter. Shakur is an excellent fighter, one of the shining stars of the next generation. Nobody know who Shakur is like that except hardcore boxing fans. If I'm somebody that made nothing but sacrifices to get where I'm at, I'm not finna make another sacrifice just for somebody else because they don't respect the sacrifices I had to make. And you could say, oh, just because Devin did it, don't mean Shakur gotta do it. Just because Shakur don't respect it, don't mean Devin gotta lower his price. Devin Haney been making concessions just to get where he at, and it's like at some point you gotta draw the line. My line where I would draw is a fight where I'm putting a toll on my body, I'm risking my legacy, what I just built for myself, which is so far my biggest achievement, being undisputed. And I'm veering off from my own plan of upward mobility. I already had a plan to move up to 140. I was in negotiations with Regis Prograde or whatever, speaking in terms of Devin Haney. Somebody calling me to come back down, you're gonna have to make it worth it. That's only the right thing to do, So at the end of the day, man, you might as well ignore Shakur because he say that 25 is low ball, but I'm not hearing a counter offer, which you probably won't hear a counter offer because I don't think that's the purpose of the negotiations. You know what I'm saying? Is to really make offers and counter offers like that, especially if you full and well aware that Devin planned to move up already. Why not call him out? Because that's what Bob Arum, he's a master at fooling the public. And that's all the casuals gonna look at. Oh, Devin is getting called out and not taking the fight. They're not gonna look at all the factors surrounding it. And the fact that Devin got his own career to worry about that's bigger than just the person that's in front of him at the time, which Shakur ain't even the person in front of him. That's actually the person behind him, back at 135. Let me know what y'all think about Devin moving up to 140, fighting Regis Prograis. I think that's a good move, power move. It's something that keep establishing his legacy as fighting top guys, and it positioned him to, just keep on moving upward instead of moving backwards or making moves to stagnate his career based on public opinion. You know what I mean? Do what you gotta do, man. It's a long road, and you the one that gotta get in the ring. But that's all I got for y'all today, man. We gotta keep taking a close look at these boxers, man, because you know what? You can play games, but you can't play boxing. I'm gone.